How to cook a lobster. First, go to the fish market and pick out one jumpy, lively lobster per each person. Now you pick up the lobster from its back, just below the head. If you pick it up and it's squirming and grooving around, put it back and come back the next day because it's not fresh. So once you pick out a lobster for each person, you put it in a container that has plenty of room for it to breathe and move around and be kept moist. Although it's an aquatic animal, lobsters can live in the air for several hours if it has enough room to breathe and to kind of stay damp. So upon taking it home, you get a pot, big, deep, heavy pot that can hold the water and the lobsters into it. And you're going to fill it up with about 3 quarts of water per each 1.5 to 2 pounds of lobster. But just keep in mind that the pot shouldn't be kept overflow like 3/4 of the pot is full, And so once it starts to boil, put in 1/3 cup of kosher salt, and so that way you can kind of create like a fake seawater thing. So once it's boiling, you put each of the lobsters in one by one, face down. And then once they're all in, you put the cover back on, you reduce the heat, and you let it simmer. Now, a lobster, depending on its size, can take a specific time amount to cook. If it's like 1 pound lobster, like 8 minutes, and then like 1.5, 11, and then 2 pound lobster, like 15 minutes. And so once it's ready, you remove the cover, take out the lobsters one by one, and leave them and put them on a cloth surface. And then you're going to use a small knife, kind of the point of a small sharp surface, to poke a hole right between the eyes of the lobsters, and you put it face down into a sink or a container, and you let all of the fluids drain. And so, but make sure that the meat doesn't get too tough. So make sure you get those lobsters out before the meat gets too tough, and then you immediately drain out the fluids. That way, whenever it's done, you can bring it out to the table and serve it with lemon wedges and butter.